Hello everyone, welcome to 5 at 5. Today we throw ourselves back to the time when I got the huge honor to dance at the iconic Crazy Horse stage. Now I will talk to Andrée Deissenberg. Here we go. Hello!
Hi, darling! Yes!
I was so excited when you agreed to do this. Should we kick things off by how did you came about the idea to include me in the show? You're known for always having a little twist, having guest appearances, mixing the arts. Was that always something that the Crazy Horse had, or did that come with you?
No, it's something that I brought on board. The Crazy Horse before had its dancers, obviously, and they were active. There's nothing to be said. They were definitely active. The owner passed away, unfortunately, in 1995. I was brought on board in 2006, and I was like, times have changed. We need to pep it up. So we needed to kind of look outside. And you know who's the first person who gave me the idea and from whom the whole thing grew? I got to meet Dita Van Teese.
Yes.
Here we were, two Americans in Paris, being introduced by a gentleman that was obsessed by stockings. I think the man was about 70. Dita and I were like, okay. And we looked at each other and I said, Dita, would you like to perform? And would you like our two energies and our two creative styles to mix? And that was the beginning of it. After that, I called in Pamela Anderson. Yes, energy. I was vacationing in Italy and I was going through videos. I was like, who is this creature? Who is this Conchita? This person has aura, artistry, something to say, a different type of femininity. And that was the beginning of what made us history.
I just knew immediately this is something where I have to step my game up. This ability of the dancers, they're like, the talent is insane. This whole universe, the myth about the Crazy Horse, the hidden rooms, the interior and all that stuff. Seeing the dancers on stage was just, that was intimidating. As it should be. You cannot be a crazy girl just...
The casting is rigorous. At the end of last year, I looked at 80 girls. I took 2. I have to talk a little bit about my girls.
Of course.
They're impressive. They're good dancers and they're performers. They need to know how to act. They have to play these stereotypes while dancing, while lip syncing. They work a lot. They're athletes. I have a few girls, they're like, I wonder when they sleep. The girls loved you. They said we cried when she left. We were so sad. At first it was like, oh my gosh, it's a man, it's in the dressing room. No. Then it's like, where is Conchita? The other thing is, which I think will surprise people, out of all of our guest stars, you had the body which resembled the closest in its measurements, the measurements of our dancers.
Not anymore.
So that's really bizarre. But
what many people don't know is that the Crazy Horse is also known for his light work. Therefore, the girls they need to have the same height.
The girls, they have to be a very similar height, very similar proportions, because what we do at the Crazy Horse, we create illusion. When the curtain opens, you think you have 12 clones. As the show evolves, you have different numbers where sometimes there's only 1 or 2 girls. When they start performing their solo acts or just their duos, you start to see personality shine through. You're like, oh, I really like her. And then you try to find her again in the lineup and you can't find her because we play with mystery. It's all about not showing very much. It's not strip or sex. It's artistic creativity through the graphic lineups, games of lighting, through illusions that all these, technicians and us create around these amazing performers. And then there's Conchita that comes in there, dominates this amazing stage in her Jean-Paul Gaultier gowns and in your own gown, if I remember right.
I mean, we have to touch on that too, because not only was I allowed to dance at the Crazy Horse, but you brought in literally the best people to make this show happen. My feet, this Christian Louboutin fitting I still have it in front. There was the mirror and all the shoes were lined up. It was close to passing out.
I know.
And then with Blanca Lee doing the choreography, Svetlana, really, she
the
was
ringmaster.
a teacher.
Oh yeah, but it was a fantastic team. Between Gauthier coming in for your fittings, Le Boutin throwing in like, what shoes would you like? All of the different projects that I tried to put together for the Crazy Horse, it's always about, first of all, about teamwork. Somebody comes in for the music, somebody comes in for the costume, sometimes for the lighting, for the videos, for the choreography. And then the internal team, everybody knows every place in the show. At the end, I think it's always a very beautiful project. And then we had Pierre et Gilles, I was going to say. We went to their house to shoot the poster.
I have to say, it was the most exhausting photo shoot I've ever did. I'm not complaining or any way, but it is really about precising, and it's art. They create a living painting.
They did. They took your picture like a gazillion times. They built the backdrop, and we had actually sent them little mouse that they kind of copied, and then they did this whole red lips and all that. And then Gilles, once they had selected the photo, went over and painted over. In the meanwhile, I remember Gauthier sent the most beautiful white dress.
Oh yes, this beautiful dress.
And I was running around super pregnant. The only thing with our collaboration, which I don't regret at all, but I was kind of sad. You had a premiere on a Sunday, which was the Sunday 9th, and I went to the hospital in the morning of Friday 7th. So I missed it. We both had our creation moment. I had a son and you had a show, basically.
Yes. It was kind of like a boot camp. And the press and the rehearsals and stuff, I really just got a dip of it, what it has to be a dancer at the Crazy Horse. The dancers are so diverse. And I just love being part of it.
You did 3 sections with 3 of your songs. I think my favorite was visually when you were in your throne and you were singing. You had the girls from behind and, you know, you saw their beautiful bodies and and suddenly they turned around and they all had your beard and I loved it. It was so funny. I was also criticized the Crazy Horse and through the Crazy Horse Me because they were like, oh, it's just for women. And I was like, no, it's all about different types of femininity. Houses that have something artistic about them and that are like creation houses have to be able to pick up on societal phenomena, if you like, bring out talent and challenge things. We're not there to write philosophy books.
No.
If we make people think, good. I was very proud that we worked together.
Yeah. I'm just so humbled still to be able to say, you know what, I danced at the Crazy Horse. So.
And you pulled it off in almost no time. You did a great job. You worked really hard to sing, to dance. It's not like you were a fantastic dancer, but you danced and you became a good dancer.
Yeah.
Paris was a buzz. Everybody was there.
Everybody was there. I just loved it so much. There's so much going on, but everybody was talking about it. And I just love to be the center of attention. So, and I remember all my friends were coming and it was just the best time. Gender also is fluid. So
exactly.
For me being there, I mean, I do identify as a man, but I just love my femininity. I love femininity. I love women. It's just always has been so inspiring to me. This is also what you get when you see a Crazy Horse show. It's really empowerment.
The show, when you go to see it, you're like, wow, those girls, they've got the power. You feel that the girls are empowered. You feel as a woman empowered. And I think as a man, you feel very inspired. It's presented and produced on such an artistic level and with so much attention to detail. Every single act that's presented has been thought out completely. It always makes total sense. I don't think a lot of people understand. The Crazy Horse only seats 250 people and the stage is only 6 meters long. It's kind of like your iPhone when you lie it down. And then when we work with the lights and the projections, and the costumes and the movement, it's almost like you have this movie going on in front of you with magical things happening. And contrary to a lot of different cabarets and shows, which say, let's turn on the lights and ta-da! With us, it's like, they're very little lights. Let's just highlight a little piece. So when you as a performer came on our stage and you came from Eurovision and Gauthier catwalks and here you're like, okay, the stage is 2 meters high and 6 meters long. I'm sure that wasn't easy.
It was a challenge, but you so get used to it. You have to think, you have to be aware, you have to be awake. It's so fulfilling when then the whole choreography comes together on stage and it just works like, you know, like clockwork. I missed it a lot, and especially in these days.
You need to come back.
I will come back. Of course. Of course. Andrée, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you, darling.